for not only us here in Connecticut, but the nation watching, wondering.
This is another poignant picture too, Keisha. As you see policemen standing, standing in a playground where the kids were supposed to be today. Recess.
Yeah.
Not today.
And we have talked about the timing of it all, Jerry. So many families celebrating Hanukkah. So many families looking forward to Christmas break next week, to the holiday break, winter break, and not anymore. The children who you see in this video who were being led away from Sandy Hook Elementary, the things that they have seen and heard today, the tragedy that they have experienced is unlike anything that a majority of us will never see firsthand. And we feel for them this evening. Once again, flags have been lowered to half-staff across the state, per Governor Malloy. Flags at the Capitol, flags in Washington, D.C., at the White House, lowered to half-staff as well, on the request of President Obama, as the nation mourns with Connecticut this evening. Once again, 20 children dead. 18 of those children died at the elementary school. 2 of them died at the hospital. 6 adults lost their lives at Sandy Hook Elementary trying to protect those children just 5 to 10 years old. State police telling us that the shooter is also dead. State police telling us that this shooter, who the Associated Press has identified as 20-year-old Adam Lanza, drove to the school in his mother's car, per the Associated Press, walked into the school. NBC News has confirmed this, that he opened fire inside of a front office, then walked to his mother's elementary room and opened fire. Let's listen to State Police Lieutenant Vance briefing us on the very latest. Let's listen in.
Okay, what I'd like to do is I'd like to give you an update, a briefing on some additional details, hopefully to answer some of the questions that you may have. Again, as I stated before, this is an ongoing criminal investigation. We are limited as to some of the details that we can give out to you for obvious reasons. First, let it be stated that I've told you the number of deceased in the building, at the hospital, and at the secondary crime scene. It's our policy and protocol that we have to establish positive identification of those victims. That is a time-consuming process. That's something that's going to take a great deal of time. The medical examiner has already arrived in the scene. He's going to work very closely with us to expedite that and get that done as efficiently as possible. As I told you, the families have been assigned a trooper or an officer as a line of communication. That was done specifically to ensure the families that they have constant communication with this ongoing investigation, and they won't have to sit and watch television news or anything else. They will be the first to know any of the progress that's made as this investigation continues on. As I stated earlier, the assets that were utilized initially was certainly when the call came in, Newtown Police Department immediately responded and immediately called for help. Surrounding local agencies sent officers, and the Connecticut State Police sent all off-duty and on-duty troopers to respond so that they could immediately gain access to that building and begin that search process that I alluded to before. We had the State Police tactical team. We had canine teams out here. We certainly had Trooper 1 in the air, and it was probably to keep some of your helicopters away, quite frankly. But we had every possible asset came out to this scene the minute that this alarm came in, or this call came in, and it was certainly to do everything we could to protect certainly life and property. The community has been outstanding in supporting this effort. As you can see, you've taken over their park, and they're showing up. They're offering condolences. They're doing everything they possibly can to support the victims, the victims' families of this horrific tragedies. The FBI crisis management team is offered to respond. Is going to respond here tomorrow to assist in crisis management, to assist not only with the families and the family members, but with all the first responders, the police, fire, EMS, all working at what I described before as a very horrific and difficult scene. Certainly local mental health crisis intervention teams have been on scene and have been here all of the day working and assisting and helping. I just want to make it very clear that there were 18 children who were pronounced dead at the scene. There were 2 children who were transported to area hospital and were pronounced dead at the hospital. There were 6 adults that were pronounced dead at the scene, and obviously the shooter was also pronounced dead at the scene. I don't have much more detail about that secondary scene, but there is a related scene that we discovered as we were continuing the criminal investigation, and specifically investigating the shooter. And you probably saw, and someone asked me on the way in here about the bomb squad. And yes, we brought all our assets in case they were needed. And when we went out with Newtown officers to search or to execute search warrants or to examine other possible secondary scenes, we took all those assets with us to ensure that they were right there.